Sri Hegde to come on stage.
Yes.
Professor Advocate Ashraf Ahmed Sheikh has also been an advocate for human rights, and he has been invited for an international forum on the same at Germany in 2006 to represent India. Apart from that, Advocate Sheikh is also associated with Ascendity Universities as Honorary Legal Advisor and Honorary Coordinator for the Law School.
I'm sure no law minister from Delhi would have come to interact with you. So, hats off to you, sir, and I think our law minister deserves standing ovation. Please stand up. You know Mahatma Gandhi? So long it takes. Alright, we all know him very well. And during the British period, he used to break many laws, and he used to say that I am a biggest breaker of law. But you know what he used to do? Mahatma Gandhi used to declare the laws made by the British, which used to be bad, declare first bad and then break it. And once the judge asked him, Mr. Gandhi, you yourself is a barrister of law, and why are you breaking the law? So he's saying, Your Lordship, I am not breaking the law. I first declare your laws bad and then I break. So it's a request that if you make good laws, I will not break it. This Ascendity Women's University Law School has a peculiar feature in the city and the country for having the legal education only for women, that is for the girl child. I think it's my 13th time when I am introducing men on this stage, and what a pleasure it will be that a student is introducing his teacher on various occasions, especially one of the historical events.
Sir, I warmly welcome you, who has been spoken about by Mr. Advocate Ashraf Ahmed Sheikh. However, I would like to say, sir, we have been very fortunate. We consider it a great occasion for us to be with you and for the students to interact with you. This is indeed a moment which I am sure, not only as a Vice Chancellor, as a person belonging to law fraternity, I feel greatly honored that you have accepted our invitation and have decided to interact with our young budding lawyers of tomorrow.
For Honorable Minister, sir.
Students, people who seek justice and can become voices everywhere. Women, I look forward to you. There are no more women. I think you are the people who can take justice to those people who not come to the premises. We need to do that. We need to sanitize our entire environment of judiciary. What is rule of law? Rule of law is important for any development of the country. If there is no rule of law, there is no investment. 2% of the GDP will increase if the rule of law is improved. That's how we know that I have now convinced our Prime Minister that any investment you make in the judiciary or its infrastructure or the manpower of the judiciary will be the best investment which could be done in the country. Rest of the investment will have a cascading effect that will come automatically. Lot of faith on students. Lot of faith on students.
Now process, legal process, right to justice bill or any other, we will be there to help and support in a way and a manner we can. So, we have a lot of expectations from you and we look forward to you as a ray of hope. Our students have placed some questions before the program has begun, and the said questions have been handed over to our very own Professor Advocate Dilip Shinde sir, who will be the moderator for this session.
So the first question should be asked by Ms. Pallavi Meru from the LLM batch. Parliament.
Question is that the right to life is granted to the Indian citizens, then why Constitution has not granted the right to mercy killing as existed in the US and other European countries?
You know, right to mercy, there will be number of killings everywhere. Under the pretext of mercy killing, you know how many people we kill, how many people here. So, think 100 times before you do this time. And without your cruel killings, that will definitely substitute the mercy. You need to prevent it. Of course, you say, as a matter of academic question, you are right. But on a practical ground, given the environment of this country, given the exploitation which the country suffers, particularly the vulnerable section of people, we need to be cautious.
Thank you, sir.
The second question would be asked by Ms. Sheena Samuel, a third-year student of the LLB batch.
My question is, what is the reason for Uniform Civil Code not being implemented even after it being provided under Article 44 of Constitution of India?
Yes, Uniform Civil Code, for example, I am governed by a law called matriarchal system called Jaliya Sarkar of inheritance. Like that, not only the Hindus, Islam, Christians, any community, they have their own personal laws. And the person making, yes, in a country, the Buddhist country, it is possible because there is no caste or religion. There is one community. But we have problems with regard to the multiplicity of religion, multiplicity of culture, and making a uniform law. Yes, that is our ultimate target, to go for a casteless society, go for a society where there is no inequality. I think we will have to go to that. We have to concentrate to that. That is the ideal society.
Namaskar, sir. It's really indeed an honor to be interacting with you. So my question comes to you along with a request that why is it that legal education is not made mandatory in our preschool and secondary school section?
That's right. Because unless you are aware of your legal entitlements, you cannot fight for it. I agree with you. This is one area which I am trying to inculcate. Even when I gave a report on terrorism, when I did a report on conflict resolution like the Naxalism, other things, I said, all this, because psyche is very important. C.G. Jung, a famous philosopher, said, it is not, disease, or it is not flood, it is not drought, it is not volcano, it is not earthquake, which is injured to the society. It is the human psyche injured to the society.
At the outset, I wish to thank our honorable guest for today. Sir, let me tell you, your speech has been a feast for the mind, and it has touched the inner core of our being. We salute you and your mother. You have made us realize the power of a woman. If an illiterate mother can create a person who is a man of all seasons, man for all seasons, a person who is a complete person, who is not only a person from law, he is literate, he is a novelist, he is a poet, he is an opinion maker, and what have you. We salute you, and I request the audience to give a standing ovation to the mother of Thank you. Friends.
Yes, look here.